welcome to DriveSpark. This is Bharadwaj and that is the new Renault Kiger 2022 model, and there are a couple of changes, all of which are pretty much cosmetic. However, there are a couple of feature additions as well, and in this video I will tell you everything you need to know about those updates and more. Starting off with the changes on the front, the main change is not seen on this particular model of the Kiger. That's because the compact SUV has received a new paint scheme that's all black, and that's offered in the variants of RTZ and RTX. Apart from that, there are other cosmetic changes, starting with the front change, that is the new lip or the spoiler that has been added to the front to enhance its sporty look. Otherwise, all the other elements such as the grille, the large logo, the split headlamp setup where the main headlamps are placed down below are all the same on the 2021 model that are seen on the 2022 model as well. These are the front changes that have been summed up. Moving to the side profile, there are a couple of changes. First, starting with the wheel cap. Yes, the wheel cap now comes with a red in color to give that sporty look, and adding to the sporty look are the new decals on the door. Cladding that you see here written turbo, so this is also a new addition on the 2022 model, and with that sums up the side profile changes on the new car. Rest of the elements such as the 16-inch alloy wheels and the tires and the roof rails and the blacked out ORVMs and the dual tone paint scheme all remains the same on this particular car. Now we move on to the changes that have been made on the rear profile, and let's see what those are. Coming to the rear profile of the Kiger 2022 model, the only change is this chrome bit that has been inserted on the boot lip, and now it gives it a very rich look along with other chrome bits on the rear. Apart from that, all the other elements have been carried forward from the 2021 model, be it the split roof spoiler or the steeply raked windshield or the badging, that's the turbo and Xtronic, because this car is a CVT model and you have a rear camera and the Kiger badging right here, and also the rear parking sensors right here along with the scuff plate. It is not functional though, it is there just for the design element. However, it does add to the sporty overall look, and especially the rear sporty look of the car. Now those are all the changes that have been made on the exterior of the car. Now it's time to get inside and see what are the changes that have been made on the inside of the Kiger 2022 model. Now we are sitting inside the all new Kiger 2022 model, and there are only a few changes on the inside that have been made on this car. That includes the red trim on the dashboard that is there to enhance the sporty look of the car. Now matching this red trim are the red stitching on the seats and also on the gear boot and also on the steering wheel. You can find red stitching all over the cabin to give it a sporty look. Now along with this sporty look, there have been a couple of feature additions as well. That starting with the cruise control system that is right here. You activate the cruise control from here, and then you can go and control the cruise control settings from the steering wheel itself. This is a little bit odd because normally you find the activation button also on the steering wheel. However, since the other two buttons are used to customize the instrument console, Renault have given the cruise control activation button right here. Also, even though you have seen a wireless smartphone charger on the previous model, that was given as an optional accessory. However, in this 2022 model, this has been given standard on the top end variants of the Kiger. Now these are all the changes that have been made on the compact SUV. Other features such as the 8-inch infotainment system that supports Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and also the 7-inch fully digital instrument cluster that responds to different modes that are there on this car. Right now it was on sport, now it has gone to eco, and if you press this, the console changes to normal and you can control those modes on the knob here. This was present on the previous model as well, and so was the climate control that has a single zone unit. Also on this regard, I would like to mention that the AC felt a little bit low in terms of cooling effect that has been produced in the cabin. I feel that it could have been a little better and the cabin could have cooled a little faster than what it is right now. So these are all the changes. All the other features such as the storage spaces right here and the armrest right here, and the dual glove box right here. All these have been carried over from the previous model, and there are no other changes made to this car. It all remains the same. If you want to watch our review of the previous model that have been extensively reviewed by us, we will drop a link in the description. Also there will be a pop-out card here somewhere, and you can go watch our review there. So these are all the changes. On the rear seat as well, there has been no changes made to the car. You get a rear armrest with cup holders and a smartphone holder, and you get adjustable headrests for 2 passengers, and the rear tunnel is a little low, so all 3 passengers can sit in comfort. And there have been no changes made to the boot as well. It still gives you a 405 liter of deep boot space. However, the lip is a little high, so you will have to lift the luggage a little higher. Now these are all the interior changes that have been done on this car, and now it's time to drive. Also in that aspect, there have been no changes mechanically. It still comes with 2 engine options. However, let me take this out for a spin and let's refresh what's been there on this car. So now we are driving the 2022 Renault Kiger, and this is where things get a little interesting. No, absolutely not. It's the same, because all the engine options and the gearbox options that were there in the 2021 model remains the same, and there have been no improvements in terms of mechanical performance from this car. So it continues to get 2 engine options. That's the naturally aspirated 1 liter engine, and also the 1 liter turbo petrol engine that we are driving right now. With that, the gearbox options also remains the same. So 5-speed manual is offered as standard on both engine options. However, when it comes to automatic gearbox, the naturally aspirated gets a 5-speed AMT, and the turbo petrol engine that we are driving right now gets a CVT gearbox that we are also driving. So the performance and also the drivability of the car has pretty much remained the same. There have been no changes to it. It continues to feature a stiffly sprung suspension, which will help you tackle broken patches with decent speeds. However, if you are going on broken patches at low speeds, you will certainly feel the undulation and might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but on decent speeds, definitely this will soak up all those bumps. So with that, the steering setup also remains the same. Now the CVT gearbox gets drive modes. It has 3 drive modes: Eco, Normal and Sport. Those names pretty much remains what it says. So Eco is a little bit of a delayed throttle response, and Sport is immediate throttle response from this gearbox. Even though it's a CVT gearbox, in Sport mode, the car is quick to accelerate. Now where things get interesting is that with those drive modes, the steering characteristic also changes. In Eco, it's light and you can maneuver around the city very easily, but when you switch to Sport, the steering weighs up and it will help you in those high speed maneuvers that you are trying to do in this car. Now Normal pretty much remains best of both worlds. You get slightly weight up steering, and also the throttle response is quicker than the Eco, but it is a little bit delayed as compared to the Sport mode. And finally, speaking about the overall ride quality, it also remains the same. You get comfortable seats. The steering is adjustable for tilt. You get to choose a good driving position. If it was telescopic, you would have had more adjustability to it. Overall, the NVH levels also remains the same. The quality of plastics also remains the same. There have been no changes. As I mentioned earlier, the climate control could need a little more boost to cool up the cabin a little more quicker, especially in these hot conditions that we are driving in Kerala. So here I would have loved a more powerful AC here. So that was my quick refresh on what the Renault Kiger is all about on roads. Now if you want to hear a complete extensive review of how this car drives, as I mentioned earlier, the link to the 2021 model review will be posted in the description. You can go watch that review and also find all our impressions about the car from that video. So that was our take on the all-new Renault Kiger 2022 model, and there have been a couple of changes that makes this particular car a little more better than its previous iteration. What did you think about the changes that have been made on the Renault Kiger? And Renault is yet to announce prices for this particular model. However, we figure it will be priced a little bit over the existing model. My guess is around 5 to 10,000 rupees depending on the variant. What did you think about this car? Please do let us know in the comments below. Also like and share this video and do subscribe to DriveSpark if you haven't done it already. This is Bharadwaj signing off. Stay safe and drive safe.